Good afternoon. My name is Robert Sakach. I'm your host of the Business Owners Institute, where we meet with industry leaders and they give us our top tips for success today. This afternoon, I have the extraordinary pleasure of meeting with Barron Richner, who's in charge of employer and community programs at Primary Health Medical Group, where they've been helping business owners take care of their employees for the last 25 years here in the Treasure Valley. Welcome to the channel.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Baron, so you have two separate tips that you wanted to give to everyone today. But before we get into that, you had, why should an employer be or a business owner be looking for, a healthcare provider here in the Treasure Valley?
It's a great question to ask, and I'm glad you asked it. The first thing that comes to mind is having peace of mind, not if, it's when something happens. So you never know, regardless of which health industry you're in. So whether you are in construction or business, something is going to happen, and it's nice to have a plan in place. And in the tips I have, it's just going to go over what that looks like. And so peace of mind is really the biggest thing.
Yeah, and I think, like you were discussing earlier, like really taking care of that employee and having that employee satisfaction, knowing that their employer is going to take care of them if something was going to happen to them.
Absolutely.
And that really kind of gives that peace of mind for a lot of employees when, especially if I'm in construction or something, and I know that there's a high risk that I might be getting injured. Now I know that at least my employer has something set up in case of emergency that I'm going to be taken care of and I'm valued as an employee.
Absolutely.
All right, Barron, so your first tip today, why don't you get us started with?
So my first tip is have a plan in place. And it sounds kind of like we forget about that, but it happens more often than we realize, especially with people who never expect a risk like a work injury to happen, but it does. And the reason why that is because when it happens, you need to know who are you going to contact and who is the point to speak with. So when that happens, who's your contact, where are you going to send them to, and then do you have work injury insurance or not? And then if there's an injury, are you going to do a post-injury drug test? These are sorts of the questions you should be asking. And then that peace of mind today is going to make it a lot easier in the future.
I think, just like you're saying, like coming into 2020, right, we're all looking at, what kind of goals, health goals, or everything. Everyone's kind of conscious of that right now and having that kind of a plan. I think that just like anything, having a plan of attack for your employees and in case of emergency, your employees again taken care of. So I think that's a really great tip coming into the new year is, do you have a plan for your employees to make sure that they're taken care of in case of that emergency? All right, Barron, so we kind of talked about having a plan. So what should a business owner be looking for in their plan, when talking to a provider?
So the main thing you should probably ask is, does the healthcare provider do contracts, if they set up an account or not? Some do, a lot of them do, so you're locked into a year or 2 years. But there are some that don't have contracts, so it's just you create an account and then it's in the system, and then anytime somebody comes in, we know, or whoever you go with, we know who you're going to be talking to. We know what services you want done. We know who to send information to and how you want that information sent. That's a big thing. The other thing is, how do you communicate the plan to your employees? A break room poster is really great to have. And also the other thing is, how are you going to receive the information in what format? So ask if there's a report that gets sent back to you as the employer. And so those are the things that when you're looking for a healthcare provider to do those services, if they offer that, then that's a really good sign that they have been doing it and they know how to get that quality of care back to the employees.
All right, Baron, so your second tip is know your risk, right? And so, for me, right before we kind of get into that, I ran gyms, for a long time, and for me, a lot of my employees were like family to me. I knew their kids, I knew their wives, their husbands, and to me, if one of them ever got hurt, you know, it wasn't just a loss of employee. Like I wanted them treated and taken care of like family. And made sure they were seeing that best care. So when you're kind of talking about like know your risk, kind of elaborate on that, on what it means to that employee.
Yeah, so the first thing that comes to mind and why I say know your risk is not every injury is the same. Some injuries are going to be a little more emergent, others are going to be more just walk in and be seen in urgent care. So take inventory of the type of occupations you have at your place of work, what types of injuries are most common that you might see, and then use that as a way to determine where is going to be a good fit to send them to. And then from there, really see an access, like how available is those healthcare providers, how many are available, what are their hours, and can they provide the services that you are looking for. And then the other thing that's also really important with the quality of care is how quickly can they be seen? What are their average wait times? That all comes into play, and it's really important to look at when you're wanting to give a quality treatment to those types of injuries.
Oh, agree. I mean, if someone's getting hurt, I don't want them sitting and paying for hours at a time because that's my preferred provider. I want to make sure that those guys are seen just like I would like to be in a reasonable time frame and being able to be taken care of immediately. So that way we can get out of discomfort and we can start to try to move past this for them and hopefully get them taken care of faster and also again back to work faster as well at the end of the day for you. All right, Barron. So, kind of as a recap, today we kind of talked about why employers kind of be looking for a preferred healthcare provider. Really making sure their employees are taken care of, right? Making sure your family members of your business don't have to wait long times, or being seen and taken care of as if they're a family member to your medical providers as well. And then really having that plan and knowing what kind of different injuries are going to be happening at your workplace. If it's from falls to lacerations or whatnot. Any last tips for anyone out there?
Last tip is ask questions. Feel free to ask questions and see if your healthcare provider that you're looking at getting has a point of contact that can handle all of your information. So that way you're not shuffled back and forth between a new person each time you call. But develop that relationship, and that is probably the most important part of it all is, do you have that reference, do you have that connection and that relationship?
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so if you enjoy content like this that we're doing today, please give us a like, a comment, subscribe, because all of that is going to really go a long ways for a small channel like ours, be able to reach out to as many business owners as possible. So we really do appreciate it. And if you have any questions for Barron, his contact information is going to be here at the bottom of the video, as well as in the description. And we hope that you enjoy the video.